All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Oh, I think you can hear my dog. She was quiet for a long time. And now that I just had to go live, she gets a little loud. Hi, welcome, everyone. My name is Kevin, KGart82 on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. I put all my VODs on YouTube, so if you want to go see archived stuff, you can check it out there. I am a toy maker slash 3D digital artist by trade, and I stream for fun and to share my knowledge and trying to foster a nice little art community on here. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Um, Azzy! Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everybody. Keisha, Wedge, everyone that's hasn't chatted yet or is just going to lurk. Thank you for coming. Today is going to be a variety of things we're going to work on. I have to revisit one last Odious thing. For those of you that don't know, Odious is an independent action figure that I worked on with a friend that we kickstarted, and we're wrapping up work for the factory on the second Kickstarter. Hype! The Fem King is here! They have arrived! So I'm going to be working on one last head. Just was a miscommunication. Hey, what's up, chicken? Miscommunication, so I got to fix that a little bit. And then I was working on a Pokopia sculpt of one of the awesome streamers that I help out and mod for, NerfNoodle, and I need to finish that up because it's fun and I want to do it, and I have not been working on it for a while since I got it kind of like all mostly done, so I want to wrap that up, and I need to get back to free Ren because I got to prep her for print. So we're going to see what we can get through tonight. So thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate all of you, and we're just going to jump into the scene and get going. So first off, one thing I need to do is I'm going to pull up this. So one of the heads is a kind of Jason inspired Friday the 13th version of Odious. And we've done a couple of these, and they were all con exclusives for conventions that Unparalleled Universe went to kind of promote the figure. It's my buddy Wade, who is the father of Odious. And we've done two versions of them already, and he actually, this third version that's going to be coming with one of the actual figures, he wanted to do kind of a combination of the two. So that's what the first thing I want to do uh, to get that out of the way tonight. So first, I need to do something silly. I need to go to my messages, and he sent me an image of kind of updated combined version. And I want to save that. And I'll bring it over to ZBrush so we can have kind of a side-by-side going of that. So first, I'm doing some stuff off screen here. While I'm doing this, how's everyone doing? I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for all the first time chatters and all the folks returning. What time is it for you, Chicken? Because I know you're across the pond. We've been talking about. I've gotten to meet all kinds of cool people that are on the other side of the ocean, east of me. So that's been really cool. Okay, from selection, export, paralleled, flasher, flash, 3. Yeah, how is everybody doing tonight? Um, please tell me what's going on in your lives. Ads are going to start real soon, so if you are not subbed, please hang through the ads. I usually do ads once every hour, so it's not going to bombard you all. Texture, import. There we go. Hey, what's up, Captain? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Nice to see some familiar faces tonight in the chat. Appreciate it. Well, everybody's been familiar, but folks that I haven't seen in a little bit, so that's been very cool. All right, so you can see some of the differences in the mask, and that's really where the changes are for this third iteration, because the first iteration had this kind of mask. And so all I need to do, I don't need to do much to the face. I just need to make sure that it's not poking out from the mask here. And then I'm going to rework this mask to weather it a little bit to match the newer one, take that triangle out of the way, and yeah. And so it's like I said, it's kind of a combination of the two because the other one had it didn't have this fun smile, it had just like a closed mouth, a little bit of a grimace. So first, just to get this out of the way. Oop, it kind of looks like he wants the lip to kind of come underneath there a little bit. I'm just using the move tool just to kind of move this stuff around. And it's going to save automatically for whatever reason right as I'm starting. I encourage saving early and often. Oh, I'm going to quiet myself during the ad break. And since we have an ad break, if anybody can hear me, I know there's some people who might have got gifted subs. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I don't want to do too much. But if you rolled in and you had ads before the ad break, thanks for coming in. If you're just watching from the outskirts, we do this. Turn something off. There's settings with having the image reference displayed where I can't do work while the image is up. So I can turn that off, get rid of that. So I want to get rid of this triangle. It's clearly that's not in the reference image that I have here. One minute to go. And I can start yapping for everybody again. "15 seconds, ads are up, and we'll be back." And we're back. Thanks everyone for hanging in. So yeah, I wanted to do this first tonight because I want to just try to get this out of the way. And the main event kind of is going to be working on the Nerf Noodle Pokopia piece and getting her all posed up. And then if I can get through that, then I'll start getting going on Freerin again to get her prepped for print. Um, Regardless, I'm going to get back to that next week. Yes, yes, yes. If I don't get to that tonight. Let's see. Best views. No, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, bot. All right, now we're going to have some fun just kind of weathering this up. And it won't take too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this brush called the Dame Standard brush. And I'm going to use this kind of rake alpha on it. Actually, first I'm going to beat this thing up just a little bit. So I'm still going to use the Dame Standard brush, but I'm going to use the alpha that generally comes with it, which is sharp fall off. Why is it doing that? There we go. And what an alpha is kind of the shape that the brush makes. If you look at my magnifying glass over here, all the way on the left, that is the alpha, and that can kind of dictate the kind of shape that the brush makes. And this does like a sharp kind of drag, and I can dig into the surface or I can hold Alt and I can raise on the surface. And that's kind of how I got these various cracks here as I dug in, and then I raised the outside to kind of sharpen that. But what I want to do is I just want to kind of get some of these sharper bits that I'm noticing in plane changes. Oop. And then I'm going to go in with the standard brush and kind of beat it up and make it not so clean. Okay, there we go. Everyone's so quiet tonight. What's going on? What's going on? What did anybody do anything fun Saturday? Today? Today was mostly a chill day for me and the family. The kiddo has some friends over. He's also not feeling well, so he's keeping distance. But don't worry, we talked to the parents and they're like, yeah, it's okay. They just came off colds and stuff too, so they should be fine. It seems like he has a cold, so we're just trying to let them not lose out on hangout time, but also be as responsible and safe as possible. See, had family stuff today, nothing too fun this weekend. Mm, Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it be like that. Oh, show. Another fun thing was last night, went to Universal Studios, and unfortunately, like I said, the kid was sick, so he had to leave early, but I stayed with his buddies because it was kind of a birthday present from us for us to all go. And we did this thing called Universal Fan Fest. And if you haven't heard of it, they basically it's kind of like Halloween Horror Nights in a way, but instead of being like scary mazes and stuff, they pick some properties, some popular ones, And this year they picked Scooby-Doo and One Piece and Sailor Moon and what else do they have? Dungeons and Dragons, which is one that they had last year. And it's pretty cool because they just had different kind of interactive attractions that they brought out specifically for the event. And it was a separate ticketed event. So it wasn't just buying like a universal ticket. You had to buy tickets specifically for the event, and it was a smaller group of people, which is nice. All right, there we go. So that looks a bit more beat up. Maybe I'll do a little bit here in the center too. Thanks for sharing, Captain. Hope maybe you do something fun tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to any moms that are out there that are watching, or to all of you folks out there who are going to spend time with your moms. Happy Mother's Day to them. I'm going to go and have lunch with my mom tomorrow. My wife is going to go to the, I think, LA County Fair with her mom. We still got to figure out what we're going to do with the boy. He might come with me and kind of just hang out and try to recover, or we'll let him stay home because he's old enough to do that now. And he's just got a cold, nothing crazy, but he's feeling icky. And I'm sure y'all kind of can lament, even sometimes when the sickness is not like super crazy, you just feel ick. Okay. I'm going to turn down the intensity of this and get some scrapies going. Turn the intensity just a little bit because I don't want to lose detail either. This is going to be a produced toy. And sometimes these details can get lost if they're too fine. But thank you everybody who's come by today. My schedule has been really weird the past few weeks because I went camping several weeks ago. Well, not several weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. Did not stream that weekend. And then last weekend, I was busy on Saturday. And so I wanted to still not lose the stream. So I streamed on Sunday instead of Saturday, which turned out okay, but throws everything off. So thank you everybody, the new faces, folks that writing in, folks coming back who haven't been here in a while, or even the ones that have. Just appreciate all of you when you come by to hang out. It makes the night nice for me. Oh, someone's coming into the door through the door again. So the dog's gonna bark for a bit. All right. So yeah, just adding little details here and there. Turn this way up for these finer details. I'm trying to make these darker, as dark as I can. Can you all hear the barking? Is it loud for you guys? For me, it's like worrisome. It feels like it might be picked up a little too much and maybe bothersome. But you guys let me know. Maybe that's something that I need to work on for my office, is figure out how to do a little bit better soundproofing. Right now, my stream is bare bones. I use my computer, I use Streamlabs, got my earbud mics going. Very simple setup. Anyone else have any Mother's Day plans? Okay, okay. I think this is kind of what we're going to do. I think I might narrow this just a bit. Hockey game. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for joining. How is the hockey game? All right, that's what you're doing tomorrow for Mother's Day? That's fun. Well, I hope you guys have a good time. That's pretty cool for you for the playoffs to be on Mother's Day. Talk about working out for a fun event to do on the day. Okay, with that, I think I'm going to save. Then once I save, I'm going to combine this all to make it one solid part. And then I'm going to stop there because I'm going to do all the prepping for the factory a little later. Because next I'm going to jump onto the other thing to work on tonight. All right. You're going to chug for a little bit. Knuckles. So you know when you've been doing art for a long time, your joints, that doesn't bother anyone. All right, so now what it's doing, the computer's doing its thinking thing because it's taking all the different parts, the mask, the teeth, the hair, the straps for the mask, the head portion and turning it into one solid object. So right now it's actually two different objects. Hey, what's up, Mr. Brown? Thanks for joining and thanks for the Prime resub, 5 months. Thank you so much. What is this at? I did a little celebration. Looks like, am I at 10 now? That's super cool, dude. I appreciate you and the other folks that subscribe. Hope you're having a good night. You were in New York last week. Are you back home now? I hope. Safe and sound. Are you prepped for Mother's Day for tomorrow? Came in just in time to see this updated version of the slasher Odious. Yep, back home. What do you got going on for Mother's Day? Are you, yeah, helping the kiddos take care of the wifey, or gonna hang out with your mama? Yeah, new slasher. All right, so right now it merged all the parts into two separate parts, and now I'm gonna merge them together. Sometimes you can have kind of different balances of levels. That's not making sense. With the holes in the mask, those are a cutout, and I wanted them focused on the mask. So I had a special uh, Boolean action for that, and then the head and teeth and hair were separated from that. So when they combined into two objects instead of one. Now I'm going to do combining of all. Also, I'll get to show off something pretty cool tonight. Josh knows what it is. Just came in the mail today. I make action figures, but I don't collect a lot of action figures. But when there's something that's cool that I'm really interested in, I will collect. Let's see. How is this head being released? I am actually not sure what figure it's connected to, or if he's going to do some sort of add-on. I think it's a little too late for an add-on. Um, yeah, I don't know, and that's a good question. And I bet he has an answer, and I just haven't asked him. But there's a couple secret heads. This one wasn't super secret because we've done slashers before, so he didn't mind this one being seen. But there is one other secret head, and I don't know what that's going to. You can ask him for sure. Right. So here we go. So now we have this solid head. And it's auto-saving again. This feature is not supposed to happen as often as it does sometimes, by the way. I love it sometimes. Sometimes it'll go hours and hours without activating. And then something will happen and I have forgotten to save and things don't get saved. But then sometimes it just will do it it feels like what we've been streaming for about 30 minutes and it's done it like 2 or 3 times already. I don't want to say that. Okay, so now I'm going to flip and look what's on the inside and see if there's any like floating geometry, anything that I don't really want. It's all that stuff. I can mask off that stuff separately and split the unmasked stuff and delete it. Oh, didn't want to do that. And delete it. What happened? There we go. Delete this stuff. And that clears out all this internal. And I can see there's still a little bit of stuff in here that is kind of extra. So I'm going to work my magic and turn these into separate parts too. So this is kind of getting a little window into the world of file prepping for print. So we've got to make watertight things, and we got to figure out how to take care of any internal issues that might be problems either for the printer or for the file itself, no matter what. So as I used a special smoothing tool that actually eliminates parts of the model. So it eliminated those connecting bits. And I'm just removing various issues as I see them that I think might be a problem. And then I mask off what I can. Some things will be either molding issues, some things might be end up being issues for the file itself. What I want to do is I eventually want to decimate this, which means bring it down to a very low point count. And if there's a lot of weird internal stuff going on, that also can uh, cause issues for that action. So let's see. I think we're in a good spot now. So I'm gonna decimate. Actually, let me show you first. So here's the wireframe right now. It's ignore the colors here. I'll get rid of the colors. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So get rid of the colors. I want to bring this poly count down. You can see this is a very dense mesh. So I'm going to drop it down to a very low level, but it's going to keep the details. Let's see. I hate when people send non-decimated STLs, like 300 gigabytes for a head. Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It does not need to be that high of a poly count. You want it to be a high poly count when you're working on it to get the detail in there, but when you're printing, you need it to be as low as possible. And in a second, it just has calculated all the information, and now it is dropping the count. So now you can see it still looks like it's a lot, but this is before it was around, I think, 4 million points, and now it's about 250K. And there's one little bit in here that I wanted to get rid of. It's another special tool called the knife curve. Right now I'm doing my own autosave just in case something goes wrong with this action. Because it's a pretty good one, but sometimes it crashes the program. And I find if I save right before this happens, I have a better shot of it working. Okay, so I'm going to drag right here, and you can see there's kind of a faded bit on top of this dotted line, and underneath it, it's just clear. So the faded part is everything on the other side of that should disappear when I let go. There we go. So yeah, that one little bit that was kind of hanging off. And then I'll go in with that cool smooth brush. I'll kind of smooth out these bits that might cause issues for the factory. Right, now that I've looked at all this internal stuff and kind of gotten rid of all the things that are glaring problems, now I can flip it again, and you can see even though the poly count went down significantly, you can't see any issues. Let me bring up the other head so you can see side by side. Practically identical. If you've got a good eye, you can see some of the areas where there might be a lower poly count that is visible. But also, you got to remember this head is going to be probably about that big in the end. So any like little details in poly count change are going to be so insignificant, not going to register. So there we go. So that's one thing done. So I'm going to save this again, just because I need to. Get the little spinning wheel, file saved. And then for now, I'm going to export this head. This isn't the final version of it, but I want to just have a backup before I do the last bits of prep for this, making sure it's properly scaled and such. So I'm just going to call it Slasher 3 for now, and have it in the Slasher folder, and that's good. So yay! One thing down for the evening. And now I'm going to start working on Pokopia NerfNoodle. So if anybody came specifically for that or is hanging out for this, wake up, come back out of lurkies, hang out, help me figure out how to pose noodle, how to pose nerf. I can't talk now. How to pose NerfNoodle. We call her Noodle regularly. She's very cool. I will, since I'm working on her right now, I will at least shout her out. So yeah, that is NerfNoodle. She streams regularly uh, Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. EST, and on Sundays, I believe 1 p.m. EST, right? 10, 11, 12, 1. Yes. She is 3 hours ahead of me, so I need to do the math. But yeah, check Nerdle out. She's a variety streamer. She chats, she games. She's playing Skyrim right now. She was playing Pokopia, got super obsessed with it on her own, as well as many folks in the Discord, in her Discord. And yeah, I thought the designs were cute, and I thought it would be fun to do this. But I do want to do more than just this like static pose. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of pose I want to do for her. And this is where chat can help. So if anybody who is a fellow member of the Nerf Noodle cult is in chat and can hear me right now and is available, what are your thoughts? And if not, I'm just gonna go wild with it. I have some ideas. I'm thinking of maybe a cute head tilt. So let's start at least there. Because the head, luckily, all that stuff is separate. Oh, hey, what's up, Doombot? Let's see. Hit with the ass as soon as you open the door. Oh no. Well, hopefully that will hopefully it wasn't too many ads. Was it like a long time? Was it like 30 seconds of ads or what? Because my ad break isn't for another 25 minutes or so. So at least you won't see ads again for 25 minutes. Sorry that you got hit with those, but I appreciate you being here. Um, Before I move forward, I'll show you this since I think you just got here. So this is another slasher. This is this is one that's actually going to come with one of the Odious figures. Don't know which one. Josh is on the case. He said he wants to find out, so he's going to bug Wade about it. But yeah, I finished this up tonight. This is the last thing for the Odious project that I needed to finish. And all the files are to Wade and going to the factory, and that stuff is on the move. Maybe I'll get some stuff that needs to be revised, but yeah. NerfNoodle, who is that? I don't know. Here's this little noodle, the Pokopia noodle. But yeah, do you have any thoughts, Captain Pirate Captain, Mr. Cap? One of my favorite VTubers, though I think I've only gotten to see you stream with your VTubing rig once, maybe twice. Let's see, I love the Happy Slasher head sculpt. I use it on my main Odious. That's really cool, dude. I love to hear that. So this one is kind of it's not the same as that one, the one that you have, the Legion Con exclusive. This one is kind of a combination with, uh, I think, the previous Slasher Legion Con. So it's that mask slightly tweaked and the Happy Slasher head. So it's even going to be a third iteration of that. So if you have the first two, you're not getting a repeat of either of those heads. See, law. I've only streamed that. I've only streamed that once with it. So moving in 3 weeks. So I've been busy with prepping and working more to save. That's awesome, dude. I remember you talking about the move coming up. So I'm excited for you for that, and uh, hope you can settle in quick and get to all the things that you want to do because I know you've been wanting to have a better stream set up. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Davis Adam? You just, I'll show. Let's see. So there's third version of the slasher head. This is going to be coming with one of the figures. I don't know which one. Maybe it'll be with all of them. I don't know. Like I said to Doom, uh, Josh is on the case. He's going to find out. But yeah. So this is what I'm working on right now. This really cute, uh, not a character from Pokopia, but it is a version of the Pokopia characters. That is a cool streamer that I help mod for. Let's see, I'm all right. How about you? I'm good, man. Doing real good. I'll take any and all variations of the Happy Slasher you want to put out. Gimme, gimme. Um, yeah, no, but today was great. I went to Universal with the family last night for their fan fest, and then uh, today was just a chill day, so I got to relax before stream, which is nice. And right now I'm getting ready to pose Ditto Noodle or Doodle. So I think I'm going to go into transpose mode. As long as it works. It usually starts cycling through all the files, all the parts right now. But there we go. So yeah, so it's going to cycle through all of the parts and give me a dumbed down version. A dumbed down, I mean, well, kind of. But it gives me the low poly version of everything, but it's all one object. So now I can go in and I can mask everything off that I want to. What this is going to allow me to do is move things together in a little bit easier fashion. So we'll start with a cute little head tilt. Maybe we'll tilt it up a little bit. So that way it's not too, maybe we'll do this. Because I will want to mess with the body a bit too. I think what I'm going to do also is hide all of the ground plane stuff just to get it out of the way. Okay, I think I'm going to hide the arms too for now. Okay, being weird now. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to again mask all the head parts off because I'm going to work primarily with the body instead of just like, well, first I'll do some movement. That's weird. Why is that? There we go. All right, so I'm going to center it and put it up here. Tilt it a little bit this way. And then I'm going to use the masking lasso. Come on. There we go. Mask off half of the body. Soften that mask. And tilt her back by the waist just a tad. And I think do a little bit of a twist in there too. Park the hips a little bit. All right, and then again, I'm just gonna mask off these upper bits. And I'm going to use the move brush and kind of just like massage a little bit of this stuff. Get smoother curve. Then I'll focus on the skirt, do a little lift on this side. Drop it on that side a little bit. There we go. Move the apron up a little bit. I'm basically just masking off the things that I think might be in the way as I move this. I don't want those things to move. That's the tough part with this kind of posing. It's just making sure you don't grab the wrong stuff. Let's see. Hello, Giddy. First time chatter. Hi. Let's see. Inventorology. Hello, Adventurology. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Since you're new, where are you from? What brought you here? How'd you find us? My name is KGart82. I am a 3D artist. I've been in the industry of toy making for about 20 years now, streaming for about 6, 7 months. And yeah, this is just something that I kind of do for fun. And right now I am working on a kind of original version of a Pokopia character based off of a streamer known as NerfNoodle from one of her Instagram shoots. All right, so now I kind of have the body where I want it. I'll probably tweak it some more, but this is like a good first start. So I'm going to bring the arms back in, and I got to figure out some fun stuff to do with the arms. Let's see. Looking good. From Canada. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. What part of Canada? You don't have to be specific, but are you like more east? Are you more central? Are you further west? I'm in the Pacific Standard Time Zone, so am I in a time zone that works for you? Or are you up late tonight? I know a lot of people who are more easterly, and my streams are a little late for them, so I appreciate whenever they are popping in. Okay, I mean, see now. I want to do something fun with the arms. I don't know if I want to like flare them out or if I want to do something cute where they're like behind the back. I might do two versions. So let's do that. First off, let us mask off the arms, get symmetry going. And we'll have them kind of go back a little bit. And we'll also mask off these and have those travel with. Fun little sleevey poofs. And it's okay that they're symmetrical right now, but I'll probably make those asymmetrical. See, do I do commissions? Yes and no. So I right now have a full-time studio job. So any commissions I take basically eat into that after hours time, which I do a little bit, but I don't do it a lot yet. I'm starting to. And as soon as I get to a point where I think I can open up for commissions, Um, I might find a way to do that so people can reach out and I can figure out how to schedule it. 'Cause that's the hardest part. Right now, some people have reached out and I've just said like, sorry, no, I don't have the time, and others don't have a super big deadline, so I'm able to say, like, this is around the time that I might be able to work on what you want to work on, so let's talk in the future. But yeah, so kind of a complicated answer, but that's just kind of where I am right now. Also, probably when I do start commissions, I probably will want to do some of that stuff on stream just because it gives me more of an opportunity to do it. And I think it'll be fun for whoever I'm doing commissions for to be able to kind of see what's going on and see the progress in action. I know for my buddy who I was doing the independent action figure Odious for, he obviously got to see a lot of the process along the way, but he never really saw me sculpt. And during the second Kickstarter campaign that we did, I say we, but it's he that he did because I helped work on it. Um, there were a couple of moments where I sculpted on stream when he was available to hang out, and so he got to see the process live, and he said that was really cool. So I'm kind of thinking of having that be all part of the process and be a little bit of a bonus. But I need to also work out a way for it to be comfortable for me because I also don't want to be the whole looking over my shoulder while I'm working kind of thing. But yeah, awesome question. Thanks for bringing that right off the bat. Coming in first time chatter. Goated. Do you do any art yourself, or are you just cruising through and trying to find fun things to watch tonight? All right, I have some fun, cute ideas for the legs, so I'm going to start working on that now. See, I'm a bit of a noob with art, but I have a lot of fun with Arctic Fun. Oh, that's a really fun game. That's really cool. So primarily you like to draw. I know that's more of a 2D experience. I've watched a lot of people play Gartic Phone. I think I've gotten to play it once. It's very fun. It's a very cute game for sure. And if you spend enough time with it, you can create some really cool stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some fun posy stuff with the leg. I'm gonna try to pigeon toe the legs just a bit and have the one be more up. So I'll probably bring it forward just a little bit and then bend the knee a tad more. And then once we get into, actually, no, I might do it still in this state. I'm going to bend the toe just a tad. Okay. Just going to bring this forward just a bit. Oh, can't forget the foot. Get everything. And that's why you got to pay attention. You got to look around every once in a while just to make sure that everything you want captured is captured. Sometimes if you mask off the wrong bits, it's not going to be what you want. But that's very cool. I'm glad that you are dabbling. There's nothing wrong with being new. We're all new at some point. I know I was. That's for sure. For those of you that are not subscribed, the ad break is going to come in about 5 minutes. So please hang tight and sit through the ad break. It helps me out and I really appreciate it. The purpose of this stream isn't really to make a ton of money, but it's nice to get, you know, a little bit for my time. And what's really cool is, my plans, hopefully, if I can, when I can, I'll use as much money as possible I earn from the stream to improve the stream. And if you are so inclined to support in any way, that is super appreciated, but not a requirement at all. I appreciate all those folks that have been subbing and everyone that hangs out through the ads. It's awesome. And if you have Amazon Prime link, your Twitch account, and you can get 1 sub per month for free. That's correct, Mr. Josh Brown. Yes, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub once a month. You can spend it however you'd like. It does not permanently subscribe you to anybody that you use it on. So, if you choose to use it, I very much appreciate it. But there's lots of other amazing streamers out there. So you can always use it on them as well. Let's see. I vow that Kevin gets all my free subs. My word is my bond. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate that. Okay. So curving this foot, bending that toe. Have to mess with the stuff underneath it afterwards, just to make sure it's lined up right. Let's see, you have spoken. Yes, you have. Well, you have typed. All right, ad breaks have already started, which is cool, cool, cool. Oh, wait, no, it's still in 2.5 minutes ish. All right, so yeah, hang tight. Ad break is going to start very soon. Love seeing all the new faces in here tonight. Oh, you say everything you type out loud. Okay. I mean, I believe you. I have no reason not to. Okay. So we're really close to getting at least like kind of the first basic pose done. I think she's looking pretty cute so far. What's nice is I'm just trying to get it like basically done here. I'm gonna still fine tune the pose when I get back to like the main model. This is kind of a proxy version of the character right now. There we go. That's very cute. Because I'll do some stuff with the hair too, because obviously that's all very static right now. It's looking good. Thank you. Ad starts in about 10 seconds. So hang tight. I'll stop here for a second. I'll take a little bit of a break, drink some aqua, and then we'll do the magic of showing everything that I did here, transferring to the regular model. Also bring back the base. I have a couple pose ideas in addition to this one. I don't know how many we'll get through tonight, but I do at least tonight want to do this cute body pose, tweak it a little bit, and do a few different positions for the arms. I think I want arms out like this. I think I want a behind the back, fingers linked kind of thing. Don't know if I want them like palms down or palms up, and then maybe kind of a cute arms forward, fingers linked. Right. How's it going? Hello, Mr. Brown. How are you? I think you might be the only subscriber in the chat tonight. There might be some people that got gifties that I'm not quite sure. But yeah, either way, glad to have you in here. I actually also have a soda. I might crack that too for a little bit of flavor. Oh, that sound. 2 more minutes. Silver bullet. I am not drinking a Coors Light. No, it's a Coke Zero. See? Gosh, I haven't heard Silver Bullet in so long. Unless you're referring to something else that I'm not familiar with. My first thought was to Coors. All right. Just about a minute left. I always say it when I hear a can open. Awesome. Yeah, that was like a big thing in the commercials. Yeah, I forgot about that. Less than a minute. Yay! Yeah, this is a really fun project to work on. I had kept seeing, or it has been a fun project to work on. I kept seeing all the different little cute characters, and a server I was in that I'm in, several people playing it, including Noodle. And I had been wanting to do like some sort of like fun fan art thing involving her. Uh, and this just kind of one day spoke to me. All right, welcome back, everyone, from the ad break. Thank you everyone for being here, everyone that's lurking. We're about to apply the pose to the base model. So let's watch the magic. This is kind of fun because it's going to cycle through all the parts and then it's going to shift each one by one. It kind of looks funny at first, and then everything gets locked into place. Yay! So there she is. Now we're going to go back to the better display of the color. Awesome! I think I'm going to turn shadows off in my renderer. They're kind of harsh. Oop, there we go. That's a little better. So there's still some shadowing, but not as dark as before. All right, now I can start kind of like tweaking things that aren't looking good. Like I can move these in a bit. I also think I want to tilt the wrists up a little bit more. Let's see, is posable symmetry on? Symmetry map not stored. That's okay. So I have to do this without symmetry on, which is good, honestly. Oh, and the little dittos from the game kind of do a bit of a Naruto run in a way. So that's kind of why I'm keeping both arms back. It would be cute to kind of have one forward. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to curl the hand a little bit more. All I'm doing is just masking each bit that I want to move. And what's cool with the gizmo tool, this like circle with arrows and stuff, is if I drag along the model, if there's consistent poly loops, it will kind of do a lot of work for me as far as masking is concerned. It will keep the mask directional and help me control it quite a bit. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's looking a little bit better. Probably end up tweaking those fingers just a little bit more. I think I'm gonna move on to the other hand. Gonna do a similar thing, flaring out the fingers. Oh, and there's the autosave. So yeah, flaring out the fingers to get them a little bit more of an animated line of action look. And I accidentally tried to talk to Siri. Oops. That's what happens. I have my earbuds in, and I guess my forearm touched it. All right. So yeah, so I'm going to bring the curve of the hand. Curl that stuff. Hey, what's up, Six? Exactly. I'm a nerd. I'm doing video game characters, versions of streamers. I am a huge nerd. Exactly. How are you tonight, sir? What are you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. I hope you had a good Saturday. I know you said you went to, was it today or was it yesterday that you went to the museum? I definitely want to check that one out next time we're in Chicago. Really enjoy the city. It was a fun kind of happy accident vacation where the plan was my wife wanted to go to New York because she loves it and I've never been. I know blasphemy. And she was trying to figure out another place for us to go because New York wasn't going to work out with our travel plans and the dates that she had picked. So she was like, I've never been to Chicago and I kind of want to go. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. Sure, why not? And we went and we both really loved it. And it was so funny, not really, but in some ways, because that was around the time. I mean, Chicago's always been used as like some sort of weird scapegoat, as it's a scary, dangerous city, but it was during one of the times where it was like that stupid rhetoric was ramped up. And yeah, nope. There's only one time that I did not feel safe, and it was a situation where I've encountered more unsafe versions of that here at home. So, and clearly I was fine. I don't want to get super into it, but yeah, I got freaked out only at one point out of the whole 7 days or so that we were there. Only South Side. Well, that's funny that because the museum that Six was talking about uh, is to the south. He was telling us about it in one of our Discord channels that we share because Six and I share, I think, literally six or so Discords. And I remember the day we figured that out, and it was very funny. Because clearly we had been in all of them for a long time, but there was just one day that we were both very chatty in all of them. They're like, wait, you're in this one too? It's very funny. But yeah, because you're in Illinois, yes, as well. I think we talked about that, or you're close to it, because I know we were talking about Legion's Con and stuff, and that is in that area. Yes, Mr. Brown, you're gonna have to re-educate me, because my geography is always so bad as far as like where people are and when things are. I see. I'm in Indiana, but I've been to Chicago a lot. I see, I see, I see. Well, where is Legion's Con? Is Legion's Con in Indiana? I plan to go to one. I don't know which one. If not this year, hopefully next. Let's see. This was my first time in New York. I like Chicago a little more. Let's see. LC is in Jersey. I see, I see. Yeah, I definitely want to go to that, but I gotta go when I can afford it, so I gotta figure that out. I also don't want to go too late. Like, I don't know if there's going to be another Odious campaign, depending on the different things that Wade wants to do. But oh, excuse me, hold on. I needed to cough a bit, and I realized after my first one, turning my head away does nothing because my microphone is attached to my head. Okay, look at that cutie patootie. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this previous one. I'm going to delete this. We don't need it anymore. Back here. And then we're going to start doing some fun stuff with this. So I'm actually going to turn the color off on this one just so I can see, because with the black uh, hair, it makes it very hard to see what's going on with masking. Okay, go. Okay, I think well, let me bring her back in the middle. I'm doing that thing again where I'm not used to people watching me still sometimes, and I got to make sure that I have what I'm doing in frame, or at least central, because sometimes I'll get off in the corner when I'm working I'm just not paying attention to what's on the screen. I just kind of am feeling it out, and I end up like slowly, gradually massaging myself into a corner of the screen just because of the way it's rotating at any given time. And then I'll notice that all of a sudden I'm working up here, and it doesn't matter that much when I'm by myself, but when I got all you lovely people watching, I don't want to don't want to have you folks have to like strain and look up into like this corner and looking at this small model as I'm working at it. I at least want to be central. Okay, that's kind of cute because she's like swinging her head. Now I gotta figure out, well, let's back up to the highest subdivision level and get the color back in. Perspective back on just a little bit. And so we'll do it where she's kind of like twisted her head in a way as she's doing this little pose. So this is flaring out this way. But there's momentum coming from the front of the head, so we will actually the bangs or the little side little tails, because they're not those aren't bangs necessarily, and I forgot what they're called. No, they have a name. These kind of be flowing this way. There we go. Slightly inflate these. And then we'll pinch from the front. This one's looking a bit too long right now. So I want to kind of shorten it. A little better. All right, so this I'm using like the inflate brush a little bit to bring back some of the volume in some of those areas that I feel are a little too thin. A lot of the move brush to just grab things around, and then the gizmo, this thing, to do my mapping and rotating and turning of the masses of hair. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. The software that I use is ZBrush. I use it for everything. I've been using ZBrush since about 2006, '07, and yeah, I have learned how to do most anything I need to do for 3D modeling, whether it be hard surface or organic stuff in software. There's a lot of really cool, powerful tools in ZBrush that some folks don't know about, and I've been trying to help spread the word. There's a lot of really talented people that do share all this stuff, but sometimes I feel it's a little inaccessible and feels a little advanced. And some of these features that are showed up in a very advanced state, depending on the projects they're trying to use as tutorials when they're making them, just feel like they go over folks' heads. And not because the folks that are watching are not talented and not smart enough to pick it up, but sometimes tutorials just move a little too fast. You have to do a lot of scrubbing. I know people say I work fast, but I at least try to get my points across on the things when I'm using tools. I try to slow down and show off what's going on. All right. How we doing out there, chat? I'm going to save this as doodle pose 1. It's possibly the first of a few. I'm going to turn the base off. I'm going to fix some of the stuff here in this little area. Because right here, this is just a Boolean action that I'm using to get the tread of the feet, of the shoes. Because I felt like it would be easier to model that than to go in try to get this exact tread in the base model. Now, if I was animating all this stuff, I probably would go that length. I could also, if I really needed to, use this to create this and then retopologize after doing the Boolean action and make a soul that properly had all this information worked out. Since I'm making a little statue, I don't want to say we cut corners, but there's just some things you don't have to do. We try to go for workability and efficiency when making toys and statues and stuff. Because in the end, like I was talking to Josh earlier, if you weren't here, we were talking about this Odious head. I'll bring up the wireframe. This is ugly looking, but this is all the detail with very few points. Or if you look at the original model, there's quite a few points on the head, in the mask, and the hair. But for manufacturing and production in that way, we use all these points to get all the details initially, and then we take it down to a more simplified. Hey, what's up, pleb? How's it going? Sorry, you don't need to apologize. We all have lives. I appreciate that you're here now. So thank you for coming by and hanging out. Um, I finished this earlier. This is an additional head for a figure that I'm working on. Finally decided on like, oh yay! Um, and on that, I'm glad you mentioned that because earlier, I don't know if uh, Inventure is still in here, but Inventure asked about commissions, and like I said, I do them rarely and not too often because my schedule is small, but on occasion I will. And that is somebody that I'm talking about um, because there's not really a kind of deadline. And I said, I will probably be able to start working on anything until this time. And they said, okay, cool. But ooh, I can't wait to oh, thanks, Doom. I can't wait to hear what character it is, Pleb, that you finally decided on. Okay, yeah, she's looking pretty cute. Let's see. Yeah, after June 7th is when I'll be able to get the funds to pay you, so I really wouldn't expect anything before. Well, we can talk about that stuff through email communications, but like I'm very flexible as far as payment goes. And I still need to see exactly what it is you want, along with the character to kind of figure out how much that would cost anyway. So, don't worry about that. We'll figure something out. I'll try and give you a reasonable quote for the work. And, you know, if you're like, ooh, that's a lot, we can either uh, talk about different payment plans or, we'll figure something out. So don't worry. Oh, sorry, my bad. I should have waited to speak in Gmail. My bad. No, it's okay. I just don't want to go too much into the weeds in it on stream. It's fine you ask questions. I don't. I mean, other people are asking about this kind of stuff, so it's for me to explain a little bit about how I do it because everybody probably does it a little bit different. So you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize for it being a while. You don't have to apologize for asking questions. I'm just saying we're not going to get into like the thick of that discussion here, just because, you know, we're going to start getting into all kinds of stuff that one will probably be uninteresting to a lot of people, and two, that require us just to be able to focus on each other back and forth. So no worries. All right, yay. All right, let's bring the base back in and see how she's looking right now. I think she's looking super cute. Very playful. I might tweak the torso still a little bit. There's some stuff I don't like there, but I think she's got cute line of action. I might fix up some stuff going on with the leg here. I think I might move her forward on the base. You're gonna pay me in crypto? Hey, you depending on what cryptocurrency, if you have a coin to spare, throw me one coin and that will probably cover a lot of work. Again, depending on the coin. Because I know there's some that is like, nope. See, I'll pay you in exposure, trust. Oh. I got to tell you guys a story. It's so funny. I actually had somebody that tried to do that once. Um, Keep it cryptic. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was just so sad and disappointing. They were like, I think they were either fiance or friend, no, fiance or husband. I don't remember if they were already married at the time, of one of my buddy's cousins, who I was also friends with. So fiance or husband of a friend, but I was closer to my friend than I was as close to his cousin. And he was like, "Yeah, they're looking for help on a logo or something." I forgot what the job was, but I was like, "Yeah, shoot him my way, and we'll talk." And it literally was the like, "We'll pay you an exposure" conversation. And I flat out was just like, "No, I don't work for no money. You'll pay me for my work." And that's what I recommend to everybody. I'm glad that that mostly is like kind of over. I feel like we were like the first generation that fell prey. And once everybody finally caught on to how stupid that was, current and more recent generations are like, yeah, no, that's, I'm not going to work for free. I do think there's some times where working for cheaper or free can be beneficial in very rare circumstances, um, when you're like apprenticing and stuff. If you're just like out there working artist and you really haven't gotten anything yet, but you're talented and you know you can do the work, someone should pay you for it. Shouldn't be working for exposure when you're freelancing. You should be trying to figure out how to price yourself competitively but reasonably because you don't want to short sell yourself either. Okay, let's see. Let's turn perspective off and let's move Miss Noodle in her entirety forward. Yeah, let's center her just a little bit more away from that back grass. So she's not quite centered on the base, she's a little bit forward. But since we have these two bits of grass here, the center is a little bit more forward in the actual open space. All right, that looks better. I think I might bring this down just a little bit more. Let's see. Okay. There's a specific thing I want you to make, but there are no damn images of it. They're all bad in one way or another. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I've worked with pretty bad reference, and if if things are limited, it is what it is. Like I want you to give me as best as you can, but we can kind of split the difference. So if you can find any good images of it in any capacity, then partner those with any images that are specific to what you want it to look like, if that makes sense. So if there's like a particular pose, but there's no good images of that pose, still give me the pose and then see if you can find some good images of the character in a different pose. Or it might be one of those things where if this is a character that's in a show or a movie, it might be time to get some screen grabs, scrub through footage to do that. I've had to do that a number of times, and it's annoying. Sometimes it's like the only way, you know? So don't sweat it too much. We'll figure it out. Find what you can, and if it's just really hard to work with, I will probably come to you with questions and we'll figure it out. So try not to stress about it too much. Okay, I think I'm going to curve this a little bit more. And I think I'm going to bring this over a bit. And then reposition this little bow. See, and I think I do want to do a little bit more of a twist in her torso. All right, so maybe even bring her back just a little bit more, both probably the head and a little bit of the chest. So I'm going to save this as it is again right now. And then we're going to go to T-pose, transpose master again. Oh, I don't want to save this there. All right, let's see. I just got to go over here then. Got to go to my, where is it? Noodle stuff, doodle noodle. I'll save it here, finally in the right spot. And then we'll do transpose master. Okay, and to make this go faster, I'm going to go into solo mode. It actually cycles through everything much quicker if it goes solo mode. But before I wanted you to kind of see how that went. All right, hold on, I gotta send a message real quick. All right, so here we go. So now, again, I have her in kind of this uh, awesome state where she is one object but several parts. What? Oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you. Good to see you. Hi, good to see you. Been lurking, loving the art. They're awesome. Oh, I appreciate you. I also I've enjoyed coming to your streams and stuff. I think you were going to do an art stream, or maybe I've already missed it, which I'm sad about if I have, because I saw you kind of announce that, and I want to see more of your artsy stuff, especially since you're cat like art. See, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too very much. It's been nice to see your stuff and see you in my streams and see you in other folks' chats. So it's been I feel like I've gotten to know some really cool people lately, and it's been very nice. So thank you for the Prime sub, 2 months. That's I appreciate that so much. Um, and everybody, Kat is awesome. She does art, like I said, but she's also a variety streamer. She does several different things. Um, I don't even know all the different things that she's done because I'm still catching up on some of her streams, but she does fun, chill, and play game stuffs on Wednesdays. I think you do some video game stuff as well, if I'm, or streams as well, if I'm correct. I don't know. Again, I'm still getting to know you and getting to know your content. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I definitely want to sell you better than than I may be. But thank you for being here. Thanks for the sub. Let's see. Yeah, like, okay. Yay! Go follow Kat. Give her your support. And thank you for your support. See, I tried. Just very bad at games, but the sarcasm makes up for it. I hope. You know what? Um, it's funny. I've been watching a few of my friends who stream and who say that they're bad at games, and they really aren't. But I know there's like a pressure that comes to streaming and performing the gameplay, and it's stressful, and I'm sure like you just feel like you aren't good when you're not playing well in the moment, maybe. And usually, anytime anyone has been like, "Ah, I'm sorry for playing so bad," they've never been playing bad. They just are like, it just adds to the fun. See, all right, I sent the reference images of the pose and some random ones. Awesome. Thanks, Gleb. I will look at that and we will continue communication. Yay. Okay, so actually, I'm going to hide this stuff again. And I'm going to do this. Try to get a little bit more of a twist in the waist. This way, and maybe this way. I think I need to fix some stuff in the back just to kind of get the same cool action in the back that I'm getting kind of in the front here. I'm starting to kind of finally like this. I do want to straighten out the head a little bit. Okay, so let's just straighten it out. Okay, I think we're kind of there. All right, let's bring everything back. Make sure I'm on solo mode. Zooms through all the bits. There we go. Now I just got to go in and kind of just like tweak little things that are like not quite sitting right with me, but I think the pose itself, I'm pretty happy with. What do you guys think? Is there anything out there in Chatland that you see that are like, I like it, but I have an opinion. You know, I don't mind if you have an opinion. You want to share something. I might not agree with it. I might not go with it. But if you have some interesting or good constructive feedback that you think, I'm very much open to it. See, I don't play Pokopia, so I wouldn't know. Well, that's fine. I mean, I don't think you need to play Pokopia to weigh in on the cuteness of the pose or anything in particular with the pose that you think might be off. And then if it was something that I'm like, oh, well, that's game related, then I can just say, like, oh, yeah, no, no, thank you for that thought. You're probably right about it in a way, but I have a reason for doing this. And then, that would be just fine. So don't worry about that too much because I don't play it either. I've watched people play it. I've talked to people that play it. I've looked at the art and stuff, but I've not played the game. I'd like to soon-ish, but I just have not done it yet because I don't have a Switch 2 because they're hecka expensive. But I might in the near future because we have some uh, combined monies, my little nuclear family, for like birthdays and stuff that we've received. And so we might combine it all and treat ourselves to a Switch 2. That's still up in the air though. I mean, it is expensive and there definitely is other stuff that we need to kind of like take care of in this tough economy. That is very much a luxury item that we don't exactly need, but also we got to treat ourselves every once in a while. So we're just trying to figure that kind of thing out. Yeah, I don't play Pokopia, and here I am making this cute little Pokopia lass. Let's see. This is probably random, but my friend got a tattoo recently, and the artist nearby us knows money is tight, so he went over and fixed their floorboards as payment. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nice when you're able to do that kind of stuff for folks. And when you're dealing with small businesses in a way, those opportunities I think are a little bit more frequent, where I don't think I'm going to be able to strike a deal with Nintendo or wherever we end up getting whoever ends up being the reseller that we go through. But no, I think that's great. Hey dude, looking sick as fuck. Been here just looking. Thanks, JD. I appreciate you. Yeah, I've been having fun. I was struggling for a long time to figure out how I wanted to pose her, and I just went for kind of like a default kind of cutesy pose. I do have a couple other ideas, ones that are this one is kind of not Pokopia-ish, but it still fits the vibe of Pokopia, so I would say this is a Pokopia kind of pose. But I do possibly want to do one more that is more reminiscent of the streamer that this is based off of, kind of hit her vibe. And that's where I'm struggling a little bit more because I have there's a cool couple images, but I want to do a pose that is dynamic. And when it comes to like cute, very stylized characters like this, sometimes a pose that's kind of dynamic for like someone who's modeling on Instagram because of the angles and whatever doesn't translate as well um, with a character with like these proportions. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that, and yeah, we'll see. Either way, ad break is going to start in just under 5 minutes, so hang tight. Thank you for everyone that has been hanging out tonight. I do appreciate it. It's been nice. It was a little bit quiet earlier, which I totally get, but it feels like folks have been perking up and popping in every once in a while out of the woodwork from lurking, and it's been nice to have some folks to chat with tonight while I do my fun work. What I have been trying to do is just catch other people's streams as much as possible. It's been tough because I feel like I'm getting to know so many people, and I'm trying to support everyone, but now there's conflicting like stream schedules, and sometimes people are streaming at a time where I can't. I feel like sometimes I get to some people's streams more often than other people's streams, and it's been wild now that as I get to know people to try to figure out how to balance that stuff. Plus, I have commitments for streamers that I mod for, so yeah, it's a lot. Let's see. I feel like the hair is weirdly parted, and like you could sway it one side how the head is tilted. Maybe that's just me. Well, I agree with you kind of how the hair is weirdly parted, but part of that is it was a hairstyle that she did, and so this kind of matches it, and it's actually a very cute hairstyle, but yes, it's different. So that's probably the vibe that you're getting. I could try flipping the ponytail to be in the same direction as, but the only reason I did it like this was I was kind of doing a twist action and trying to convey kind of the different directions. But um, to your point, I might not be quite succeeding in having that read well enough yet. So I do appreciate the feedback. So that's where my head at is at, and why kind of like I made the choices so far, but I don't necessarily think that those are yet the right choices. And you having those thoughts kind of helps me know that I need to refocus on that. So thanks. Let's see. Oh, no, not your bad. I asked back, you know, and like I said, when I did ask for feedback, I said, just because you give it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to agree with you. And I might have reasons why I did certain things, but I do want to know, like, if there's things that you are seeing, even if I disagree or see it in a different way, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. And also, it is helpful because it might refocus me and help me at least improve some of that stuff. So the hairstyle is not going to change because it's very specific. But I do understand where you're coming from. But I can definitely work on the directions of the hair. And I might, some of it might be fixing some of these other things. Like I might drop this arm down a little bit and bring this hair up a little bit, just so that way things aren't like blocking each other. And I did tweak some of this stuff, trying to find ways to have it artfully work together. So you, you're apologizing a lot tonight, Pleb, and I'm here to tell you you don't need to. And you also don't need to say you're sorry for apologizing a lot. I get it. I too, you know? So yeah, it's the way it looks like a ponytail hair. It does look static and less like hair. Yeah, part of that, it doesn't look like hair. So here's the fun thing about Pokopia, which I'll share some of that. I just tend to assume I've done something wrong, I guess. Yeah, no, I get it. Oh, and let's see, we're in ad break, so I will wait for a second. It might not have started for you yet, so I'll just say that, and then in a couple minutes I'll explain why the hair looks like it does. Ooh, I'll have some more of my Coke. For anybody that is subbed, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Kat. Again, since you don't have to worry about the ads, I appreciate you guys lurking and hanging. Ah, it means the world. And I definitely do need to catch more of your streams, Kat. If you are you still there? Let me look. Kat. Okay. It doesn't say you are, but in case you are, I'll say it now. That I definitely plan to see more of your streams. I have liked the few that I've been in. You're very fun. I like your chat community, so it's gonna happen. All right. Oh, ad break is almost over. All right. Welcome back from the ad break, everybody. Um, and with that, I think we did pretty well tonight. I'm gonna wrap it up here. But first, I want to mention some stuff about some along the lines of what Pleb was bringing up. With the hair, it doesn't really look like hair because it kind of isn't. The clothing actually also isn't really hair. So this is part of the Pokopia lore that you are unaware of. I don't know how much you know about Pokemon, but this is actually a Ditto that is replicating its best look of a human because in Pokopia all the humans are gone. I don't remember if they like were wiped out or they left the planet. There's something along those lines, but there are no more people on the planet. Pokemon are all that's left. And the Ditto saw like representations of humans, and this was like its best recreation of a human. So everything, the clothing and the hair is actually all made up of the creature. So the hair is actually very like everything has like this kind of gummy look to it because a Ditto is just basically like this blobby looking kind of little creature guy. And so that's why the hair kind of has this almost gummy, rounded, not strand like look to it. Um, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. My son will talk anyone's ear off about Pokemon. So will mine, Doom. Oh my gosh. I used to be able to do that myself way back in the day, but I'm not like Pokemon is too much now for me, and I also have fallen off. I just don't have enough time to play all the different games. They don't grab me like I used to, so I can't. But my kid, oh man, our kids would probably have a field day together. Let's see. See, I know enough about Pokemon lore for the design of Pokopia character uh, to bother me. Not cause you did anything, but the character is lore inaccurate, and I think the coder's design didn't do their research. Oh, I'm curious to what your thoughts are on the inaccuracies are. Definitely. That's interesting because I think to me the way I kind of understand it because Dittos obviously can do a great recreation of anything, and I haven't played the game, so I don't know yet. But I think the explanation kind of is that what it found was not like quite the best representation of a human, so it did its best job to recreate what it thought humans used to look like. And let's be fair, this game is kind of like an offshoot thing. So it's not the most canon. They're just kind of having fun with it. And I totally get why it bothers you. That's totally fine. Oh, hey, Carrie, I see you in there. um, and yeah, I think they were just trying to find a fun kind of way to do a Pokemon version of Minecraft slash Animal Crossing. Because that's really what Pokopia is. It's like it is a hybrid of those two kinds of games, and yeah. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, I'm the same. It's all just what the fuck now? I'm still just a Gen 1 baby. I know, yeah. I mean, that came. Yeah, we're Gen 1 babies all the way. We were there in the beginning, the long ago, man. So as it like I tried to stick with it when it got to like uh what's it called? Green and uh platinum and silver and all that stuff. But yeah, I just couldn't I didn't hang with it well after that. Let's see. Okay, so in the first Pokemon anime, Duplica is a performer with a Ditto. All Ditto, when transforming, look exactly like what they reference. Face and all completely accurate to the original. Um, the two dot eyes and little mouth only appear on Duplica's Ditto because it's specifically bad at transforming. That is the only Ditto who in lore does the weird face thing. So either this is Duplica's Ditto, which I doubt, or is lore inaccurate. Um, it would be interesting if it was, and I know there's some interesting deep lore stuff in this game, so that would be fun if that was like another thing. Um, and there's also again a possibility with whatever it found. It could be the face wasn't represented, and so it just kind of keeps its face. Also, like at this point, there's been a lot of media where we've seen you can tell it's a ditto by the face, and it's just like something is that's cute that sells. So I think like there's probably a good explanation for it in the game, but I do understand from a lore aspect where you're coming from, you know. Well, yeah, but she was a side character with one episode, so I think it's a case of people just not doing their research. I don't know. I would say it's unfair to assume they're not doing the research if you haven't played the game. If you've played it and there's not a good explanation for it, then yeah, I would maybe agree. But I still wouldn't mind that much because it's cute. But I would say there might be a fun explanation that they came up with because I also probably wanted to keep that cute face because it is funny to see that face on other things. So we'll see. Oh no, she wasn't in. No, I know she wasn't in the game, but I'm talking about whatever reason they went with this face for this game. Um, there might be a good explanation for it, considering, like you said, Dittos do complete accurate recreations. Like if that's why you can't tell if it's a Ditto when you're trying to catch them in any of the games because it is a you don't know until you've caught it when it's revealed. Yeah, fair enough. Sorry. No, don't need again. Don't need to apologize for rambling. I asked for it. I wanted to hear what you had to say. But with that, I think I'm going to stop here tonight. I'm going to do one more save of posed ditto noodle ditto, Pokopia noodle. And of course, after I save, it does its autosave. And yeah, oh, one more thing I wanted to do tonight, and it's the end of the night. It's a good finale. I am. I had mentioned before that I work in toys. I make action figures, but I don't collect a lot of action figures. I usually save the collecting for things that I really, really am interested in. And I finally bit the bullet on one of those very pricey action figures, specifically a Hot Toys figure. And Mr. Josh Brown knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show it real quick. If anybody is familiar with the series Arcane from League of Legends, I love that anime. Not really an anime. You can call it anime. Talk to the hand. Hydrate. Think six. But we're wrapping up, so I'll show this. I'm very excited about it. And I'll go in full mode and show off the Hot Toys Jinx from the Arcane series. Pretty incredible work, an amazing like recreation of her design. Um, incredible articulation. It's got some good ratchets in the knees, but yeah, everything. There's a lot of soft goods in it. These boots are very well done. They're rubbery, so that ankle joint is hidden well inside um, the upper body, the upper torso. It's silicone, so there's joints in there, but they are completely invisible. There's some good head swapping. There's two faces. Also, the eyes are actually you can articulate the eyes when you swap the face off. So I'll take this face. It's gonna look weird. So you can actually like slide the face off. Uh, And I'll show him. So here it is. Now she's looking up. There's these little rods in the back. I don't know if you can see them well, where you can actually move the eyes and you can beam them and pose them so she can be looking in many different directions. But yeah, so this was a fun, exciting thing. Uh, Josh Brown knows I've been waiting for this for a bit. He got his a while ago, and yeah, very cool. Still haven't gotten to the scale myself, but there are temptations every now and then. Yeah, I think hot toys are cool, but they're super expensive, and there really hasn't been anything that has called to me. The first one that called to me is the Hot Toys Zoe, but that's not going to come out for like another couple of years or so. But I pre-ordered that, and then but this just came out, and I really love Jinx from that series, so I bit the bullet. Also, her braids, very well done, bendy wire inside, and it doesn't feel cheap or like it's going to degrade. So you can pose the hair really well too. Yeah, I'm just very excited. Just got her in today, so I wanted to share that with all of you. But with that, I am going to sign off. So again, thank you for everyone that came by tonight. Um, I had a lot of fun. Chat eventually got popping, and thank you, Pleb, for talking a lot to me. Made the night very nice. Everyone that chimed in, really awesome. Appreciate everyone that was lurking and hanging out and watching. I have been told my voice is soothing, so I hope it is for some of you, and that I'm good background. Had a lot of fun working on Ditto Noodle. Let's look at her one last look, and I can't wait to show her to all my friends and to her to see what they think of the pose. Let's see, my first will be the Black Boba Fett one day. Hey, fingers crossed for you on that one. I hope you find it when you're ready. But yeah, again, my name is Kevin, KGart82 on Instagram and YouTube and here on Twitch. I'm here every Saturday at 7 p.m. PST, and that might change in the future, but for now, that's what my consistent time is going to be. So, with that, have a great night, everyone. Stay creative, and we'll see you again next week. There we go. Bye bye.